Hello and welcome to Horror Boys. It's a podcast on the internet. I'm Austin, joined as always by
Chris.
And we are the Horror Boys. And this isn't any old podcast on this old internet. No. My friends, this is a horror movie review podcast where every week we review a horror movie.
Yeah.
That's it. Also, it is our backdoor demo reel for our voice acting future.
Ooh, no, I don't. I don't want to put that out there. Actually, definitely not. This is not my voice work at its finest. I'll be honest.
What? I give it my all. I mean, it's not good, but I give it my all at least. Come on, Chris, give it everything you got.
It's not that I'm not trying. It's just that some of them, the voices, I'd have no business doing.
Exactly. That's the thing. Sometimes on your demo reel, you have the ones you tried, even if they didn't work, and they'll be like, "Okay, I don't want that voice, but I do want security guard voice."
Give me what's this guy from? You know.
No, I don't know where you're going.
You know.
I have no idea where you're going with this.
Oh, you know, Austin.
No, I don't know. It's not planned. I just kind of threw it out there, and now I'm trying to stall for you while you, I guess, look up an actor.
You know.
No,
the guy from Reanimated.
Oh, from Reanimated. Okay.
You know.
You mean Jeffrey Combs?
Yeah, Jeffrey Combs.
Okay.
See, I was going specifically for Jeffrey Combs' character.
Oh, Herbert West.
Yeah.
But you also specifically said, did not tell me what it was even from until that last time. We're like, oh, Reanimated. Oh, okay.
Well, that's because, you knew.
No, I didn't. I had no idea what you were doing. This is such an off-the-rails intro now, but let's move on.
Let's do it.
Because it's time to talk about Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers.
That's right.
Our director is Dwight H. Little of Free Willy 2, Anacondas, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid, Tekken, and the 1989 Phantom of the Opera, alongside Horror Boy alum Freddy himself, Robert Englund of the Nightmare films, Hatchet, and Wishmaster. Yeah. Our writers are Danny Lipsus, Larry Ratner, Benjamin Ruffner, and Alan B. McElroy, who wrote Tekken, Spawn, Wrong Turn 03, which was the original, and 21, which was the kind of remake, and the WB Studios films The Marine 4, and The Condemned 2.
Oh.
Very important movies, those ones. But yeah, also writer Alan B. McElroy, who was definitely the only one who was like in any of the documentaries, so I think he did the brunt of the work. He said that he wrote the script in 11 days and turned it in mere hours before the Writers Guild strike of 1988.
Right.
The same strike that I believe kept Don Mancini off of the set of the original Child's Play. It's the only film he was not around for while they were filming it because there was a writer's strike going on. And speaking of a writer's strike, currently the WGA as well as SAG-AFTRA are on strike because AMPTP suck and are not giving them, the fair treatment they deserve, as well as wants to replace them with AI, which has been, countlessly proven since they've started saying this to be completely flawed and definitely not going to work for that.
Yeah.
But hey, hopefully, they meet the demands of the WGA and SAG-AFTRA soon, as well as, hopefully, this is just me hoping for something. I hope the New York Times wins their lawsuit against the OpenAI, I believe is the name of the company that owns ChatGPT, for, the unlawful use of the stuff that they took from them, which would also make them have to completely delete all of the learning data of ChatGPT, pretty much killing the top AI currently. So, here's hoping. That was our tech news podcast within this podcast. And now we'll continue back to telling you about who made Halloween 4. We have our composer, the returning Alan Howarth. We have our director of photography, Peter Lyons. Collister of Phantom of the Opera 89, The Master of Disguise, Garfield: A Tale of Two Kitties, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Alvin and the Chipmunks: The Road Chip, Hop, Clifford the Big Red Dog, Amityville Horror 05, and Can't Buy Me Love, alongside Horror Boy alums Patrick Dempsey of Scream 3, Darcy DeMoss of Friday the 13th Part 6, and Seth Green of Idle Hands. Sadly, Peter Lyons Collister did not work on Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakquel, the greatest cinematic masterpiece of all time. Our special makeup effects supervisor, at least that's what he's credited as, and I'll explain why I said that there, is Horror Boy alum, the late John Carl Buechler, I think it's Buechler, of Hatchet, Friday the 13th 7, Reanimator, Bride of Reanimator, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, and Freddy's Dead. And I also mentioned here, though, that I believe Buechler actually only worked on a couple of reshoot scenes to add some gore into the movie, so he is credited as the special makeup effects supervisor, but I don't believe he actually was, like, working on the majority of the movie. There's, like, 2 specific kills that he was brought in for, and there was, like, another one that ended up not making the cut, and that's all it seems like he did. He's still a legend of, horror makeup, but I actually don't think he is as involved in this movie as his credit may
lead.
Yeah. Some other notable makeup artists who worked on the film were Michael Deak of Freddy's Dead, Jack Frost, Friday the 13th, Part 7, and Bride of Reanimator. This is a Horror Boy alum. And then Wayne Toth is also a Horror Boy alum of The Faculty, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Freddy's Dead, New Nightmare, Jason Goes to Hell, Wishmaster, and Bride of Reanimator. And then we have Ken Horn, who, based off of the documentary on the movie that I watched, seems to have done most of the makeup for the movie. He also worked on Wes Craven's The Hills Have Eyes and The Hills Have Eyes Part 2. So, nice. Yeah. Our special effects coordinator is Larry Fiorito of Tremors 3, Children of the Corn 666, Maniac Cop 3, Wes Craven's Shocker, and is a Horror Boy alum for Jack Frost, the lesser of the 2 Jack Frost movies.
Oh, yeah. Very close.
Our stunt coordinator is the late Fred Lerner of Die Hard, Tron, Escape from New York, E.T., Beetlejuice, and Candyman 2, alongside Horror Boy alums makeup artist Douglas J. White and makeup artist Alan A. Apone? Apone? Apone. I feel like Apone is right. Both of Friday the 13th 3D and... both of Friday the 13th 3D. And then we also, lastly, who was in Candyman 2 is, Candyman himself, the living legend, Tony Todd of Wishmaster, Final Destinations 1, 2, 3, and 5, Hatchets 1 and 2, and Victor Crowley. And I don't believe there was any visual effects on IMDb, or I just forgot to put it there. And if so, I apologize to whoever might have worked on the visual effects of this movie. Oops.
Oopie.
And, I mentioned this thing about us, doing this being our voiceover demo reel, our voice acting demo. I can't talk about why, though. There's, this reason, I kind of said I would never say this thing.
Oh, Horror Bois Theater.
Yeah, I'll never say
Horror Bois Theater.
But it is time now for the
Horror Bois Theater
breakdown. I, Austin, in
Horror Bois Theater
will be playing Dr. Loomis, Rachel, Kelly, Wade, Tommy, male attendant, Dr. Hoffman's assistant, state troopers, there's a couple of them, I'm playing all of them just because it's easier, Mr. Carruthers, Deputy Logan, the Anchorwoman, Earl, Big Al, Power Worker, and Frank.
Wow.
While Chris in
Horror Bois Theater
will be playing, and now you say that, I guess, because,
Jamie,
yeah.
Security guard, Dr. Hoffman, female attendant, Mrs. Carruthers, the mechanic, Sheriff Meeker, Brady, Lindsay, Rev Sayer, Deputy Pierce, Unger, Oren, and Jack.
That is right. So without any further ado, it's time to tell you that this movie opens with a card telling us it's October 30th, 1998. Nope, it's 1988. I wrote the wrong date. It's definitely October 1988. We then get our title card and opening credits that play over shots of a rural area decorated for Halloween. We then cut to an ambulance arriving at Ridgemont Federal Sanitarium. A male and female attendant are let in by a security guard. The female attendant is played by Nancy. You take a crack at that one.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Borschnicht.
All right. Of Silent Night, Deadly Night. The male attendant is played by the late David Jensen of Species, The Animated Book of Mormon, and The Rage, alongside Horror Bois alums Tom Morga and Kristen Cloak of Final Destination. Tom Morga is of other things, and I'll bring it up later, because apparently I wrote these out of order. I will bring up Tom Morga later. Don't worry about him. But Kristen Cloak was the person who was in Final Destination. It's not Tom Morga and Kristen Cloak of Final Destination. The security guard is played by Raymond O'Connor of Mr. Nanny, Pirates, spelled with a Y because it's cool, and The Rock, alongside Horror Bois alums stuntman Fred Lerner, special effects artist Tony Gardner of Seed of Chucky through the Chucky TV series, cinematographer John Schwartzman, who was an electrician on Nightmare on Elm Street 3, David Bowie, or Bowie if you wanted to say it wrong, even though it's definitely not. But I'm going to call him David Bowie, of Rubber. We have costumer Hans George Struhar of Freddy's Dead, and lastly, the living legend Tony Todd. Also, talking about our security guard here, he also played Tooth in Season 6, Episode 8 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Tabula Rasa, sorry. A completely unmemorable character in a very good episode. I have no idea who Tooth is. Normally I read the name and I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of remember that part. I have no idea who Tooth is. Love this episode. One of the best episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. No idea who he is in it.
Oops.
But yeah, so now we're going to move on. Back into the, what's happening in this movie. The security guard says, which I believe is you. I already forgot.
Oh, is it? I already forgot.
Hold it over.
I am security guard.
Yes.
Cool. Where am I now? All metal objects into the tray. Purpose of visit?
No patient pickup. And transfer to Smith's Grove. That was the male attendant's voice, by the way. I should have said that for the first one.
You're late.
Yeah? Should be on the road.
Yeah. Hell of a night, huh?
Real charmer.
Yeah, I'll take you down there.
All right. Now in the hallway, the guard says...
Riveting dialogue.
It's very important dialogue.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the first half of your line...
Oh yeah. Yeah. First time here, huh?
The female attendant, which is also you.
Hope it's the last time. You never get used to the faces. Never.
A scream can be heard in the distance. Jesus!
Ah!
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Jesus!
Jesus ain't got nothing to do with this place. Come on.
They enter an elevator. The guard says.
Yeah, this is where society dumps its worst nightmares. Yeah, the one you're picking up. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Just thinking about him gives me the willies. Oh. It's getting annoying to read, I'll be honest.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's the lines.
A decade ago. Halloween night. Yeah. He murdered 60 people. Yeah, maybe more.
You're adding more than
Tried to
it's
get
there,
it
Chris.
60. I am. Not much more, but more. Nearly got it too. But his doctor, of all people, shot him 6
Wait, how
times.
many times?
And he's
Wait, what?
6 times!
I'm sorry, that doesn't sound right. Do you mean 6 times?
Yeah, and then he set him on fire. Both of them nearly burned to death. Yeah, I'll be glad to see this one gone. Oh, yes, indeedy. Welcome to hell.
We now see Dr. Hoffman. Dr. Hoffman's assistant says, Doctor?
And I'm Dr. Hoffman,
Yes.
right? Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Because later he talks to
Yes?
Loomis, and that's why. The transfer
Yes?
personnel are here! The Dr. Hoffman is played by the late Michael Pataki of Dead and Buried and Graduation Day, alongside Horror Boy alums, makeup artist Jill Rockow of Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter, stuntman the late James Winburn of Halloween, and Linnea Quigley of Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Dr. Hoffman's assistant is played by the late M.J. McDonnell. Hoffman says,
Miss Grove,
Yes.
I'm Dr. Hoffman, medical administrator.
Has he been prepared?
Ready to go? Now, who signs for him?
I do.
Outside.
The male attendant... Oh, sorry. All right. Check him out. The male attendant and Hoffman leave the female attendant with Michael Myers. She checks his blood pressure. We cut to Hoffman and the male attendant. The male attendant says, I'd assume Dr. Loomis would be here. Michael Myers is still his patient.
And if Loomis read his memos, he'd be here. Fortunately, his position is more ceremonial than medical. With Myers gone, my hope is he'll either transfer, retire, or die.
I lost my place, but that seems a little harsh.
And the
female attendant calls out.
All right, let's move him.
We get the Halloween theme as they transfer the body to the ambulance. Exactly.
And Hoffman says, I can safely say that Michael Myers is now in your hands.
Yeah, well, I guess you're happy to see him go.
Locked and loaded.
Then let's roll. Good night, Doc.
Drive carefully.
Then Hoffman walks up to the back window and glares at Myers. Before they drive off... He glares at Myers before they drive off. I put a period there on accident, so I was like... I put a period there, and when I read it, and there shouldn't be. But now let me tell you that bandaged Michael Myers is played by an uncredited Horror Boy alum. Hey, Tom Morga! We just mentioned him. Of Child's Play 3, Friday the 13th 5, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And this movie rounds out his trinity of slasher villains, because he's now played Jason, Leatherface, and Michael Myers.
Dang.
Yeah. I'll also bring it up here just because, why not? Michael Myers is credited as being played by Horror Boy alum the late George P. Wilbur of Nightmare on Elm Street 5 and Reanimator. So yeah. And George Wilbur did the majority of the movie. But
makes sense.
I believe the Tom Morga, like, he's uncredited for this specific spot, but he also has a couple other, like, scenes that he shot before he ended up getting let go and they replaced him. So, yeah.
Huh.
So now we're inside the ambulance.
Did Hoffman see anything about living relatives?
Yeah. And he's living in his hometown. We, the audience, see Michael clench his fist at this news.
And?
And she's too young to be his ward. Legal ward, even.
So the state owns him. Hooray!
Definitely not her inflection.
Not her delivery. No.
You know, I still don't understand. But he's interrupted by Myers grabbing his face and bashing his head into the wall and finishing him off by sticking his thumb through his forehead.
Yeah, wackiest way to kill somebody.
Yeah, it's super simple, but effective. Like, it's got some decent blood effect. I believe this is one of the 2 kills that Beekler worked on. We cut to young Jamie Lloyd kneeling on the couch next to the family dog Sunday as she stares out the window. Jamie is played by Horror Bois alum Danielle Harris of Hatchet, 2, 3, and Victor Crowley. She sees an ambulance parked across the street. In comes her foster sister, Rachel. Rachel is played by Ellie Cornell of The Thirst, House of the Dead 1 and 2, and Room 6, alongside Horror Bois alums Marshall Bell of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Jerry O'Connell of Scream 2, and Kane Hodder of Friday the 13th, 7 through 10, the Hatchet franchise, and Wishmaster. Rachel says, "Kiddo, it's 4 a.m.
Jamie replies, "I can't sleep."
What is this? 4 nights in a row? You going for a record here? The 7-year-old Insomniac's Hall of Fame?
Do you love me, Rachel?
Ah, serious questions tonight. Of course I love you.
Like a sister?
Jamie, sometimes...
Like a real sister?
We're not really sisters, Jamie, but that doesn't mean that I love you any less. We see that the ambulance is gone.
Sure it does.
I know you miss your parents. It hasn't been that long.
It's been 11 months.
Exactly, like I said, it hasn't been that long.
Almost a whole year, Rachel.
Oh, so you're right. Move on. Gosh. I really don't understand that line. Like, what? Is Jamie
11 months.
Is Jamie mad that she hasn't moved on from her mom and dad dying 11 months ago? She's like, why haven't I moved on yet? I should not even remember them by now.
Yeah.
Well, Rachel actually responds, your mother used to babysit me when I was your age. I'll bet you didn't know that.
You're lucky. I wish she could do the same for me.
Come on, Jamie. Let's go back to bed. Come on, Sunday. At Jamie's door, Rachel says, sleep tight. We'll have French toast for breakfast, okay? Nighty-night. Come on, Sunday. Jamie walks over to her open window and closes it. She opens her closet and grabs a box of mementos. We see she has a picture of her mom from around the time of the first Halloween. She closes... Oh, yeah, by the way, she's, Laura Strode's daughter. I don't know if we've actually officially said that here. I guess we mentioned that... Yeah, Laurie. No, it's Laura now. She's grown up and dead in this timeline.
Yeah.
But yeah, Laurie Strode's daughter. But yeah. We see she has a picture of her mom from around the time of the first Halloween. I already said that. She closes her closet and walks past her vanity. When the lightning strikes, we see the reflection of Michael in the mirror. Jamie kneels down to pray and says,
Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. God bless Mr. and Mrs. Carruthers. God bless Rachel. God bless Sunday. God bless me. And God bless Mommy and Daddy in heaven. Amen.
Her closet door creaks open, so she slowly goes over and closes it. After she walks away, it creaks open again. She turns to go back over, but her foot is grabbed by a hand from under the bed.
Ah!
She sees Michael sit up and start walking to her. She calls out,
Help me! Help me, please! Somebody, help me! Help me! Help me! Help me!
She opens her door, and Michael is right outside the door with a knife. She lets out a scream. Mr. and Mrs. Carruthers run to her room. They find Jamie cowering and crying in her closet, clutching the box of mementos. Mrs. Carruthers embraces her and says, That's you. I'm Mr. Carruthers.
Oh, dear God. It's all right, sweetie. Or sweetheart. A bad dream, that's all. It's just a nasty old dream. I've got you. You're safe. You see?
Mr. Carruthers picks her up and says, It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You're gonna be just fine. It's okay, baby. You're gonna be fine. Mr. Crothers is played by Jeff Olson of The Crow Salvation alongside Horror Bois alums Casey Clyde and Don Shakes. Both of I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. Mrs. Crothers is played by Karen Alston. We cut to the next morning when we get a card telling us we're in Haddonfield, Illinois. It's now October 31st, 1988. We've lost 10 years since the first opening one that was in 1998. Oh, wait, no, I just wrote the wrong thing earlier. Also, in case you didn't know, October 31st is Halloween. We do get a card telling us that.
Yeah.
Mr. Crothers gets coffee on his tie and says, dang it, Darlene. The phone rings. Mrs. Crothers
Not Ghostface.
No, not yet. Mrs. Crothers responds,
There's
a clean one. Is what I say. I missed a word.
There's a clean one in the laundry room next to your blue slacks. Hello?
The call is from Ghostface. Wait, no, it's Miss Pierce. Chris, please don't do the Ghostface line because it's probably written in and you're going to ruin the timing. Don't steal my bit. I need it.
Well, you have to do it immediately.
But she hadn't actually answered the phone yet.
Nah, it's Ghostface before.
No, it's not till they answer the phone. That's how the bit's always worked.
Mr.
Crothers says, honey, this tie's got a spot on it. I can't wear this today. I've got a 10:30 with Chuck.
Hang on, Mrs. Pierce. No, not that tie. On the other side. It's not the only thing you're eating, Rachel.
Mom, I'm on a diet. You want an oinker for a daughter?
Found it.
No.
No.
Found it! Mrs. Crothers goes back to her phone call and says,
Sorry. Do you suppose Susan can bring her crutches? No, stupid question. Tell her I hope she feels better.
She hangs up and continues.
Susan's mother. She can't babysit tonight.
Why not?
Mr. Crothers asks.
I already said it. I did my voice.
That didn't pick up again.
Oh, I said, why not? Why don't they like Don Knotts' voice? Come on, Discord.
It's picking you up now.
Okay.
Mrs. Crothers explains. Susan broke her ankle last night at the ice rink. Rachel?
Mom, please.
You'll have to watch Jamie tonight.
Not tonight. I've got that date with Brady. You know how important that is.
Well, tonight is very important for your father and me.
I
should say your father and I, actually.
Well, she doesn't, so read it how she said it. Can't you find somebody else?
It's too late.
What am I supposed to tell Brady? Sorry, but I got to babysit. I've got to babysit my foster sister. Go and have fun by yourself.
It's not exactly the end of the world, for goodness sakes.
Sure it is. I think tonight Brady was ready to make a commitment. Jamie walks up the door behind Rachel. Rachel continues. But my future relationship, my engagement, my marriage, my children, and your grandchildren have all been wiped out because I have to babysit. Oh, joy.
And James says, I'm sorry I ruined everything. If I wasn't here, you could go out.
And she walks away. Rachel facepalms and says, oh. Good job, Rachel!
Good job.
That little girl needs all the love we can give her right now. And all you can do is think about yourself. I'm also Jerry Seinfeld.
Which one is it?
It's both. It's Don Knotts. But my Don Knotts kind of sounds like my Jerry Seinfeld. So where do we leave off? Rachel gets up from the table and leaves. We cut to Jamie on her bed next Sunday, and we hear Rachel knocking on Jamie's door. Rachel says, Jamie, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I can go out with Brady tomorrow night. It's no big deal.
He wants to go out tonight. It's my fault we can't.
Well, you are right.
Hey, wait, hold on. That's not what your line is.
Oh, sorry. Well, tonight we're going to do something better. We're going to go trick-or-treating.
I don't want to.
It's Halloween. I mean, don't you want to dress up in a really scary costume and get some candy? Jamie doesn't respond, so Rachel says, how about this? Afternoon, I pick you up from school and we go get ice cream.
Double scoops?
Double scoops. Now let's get some breakfast. We cut to a burned Dr. Lubis at Ridgemont Federal Sanitarium. And also his burn makeup will change throughout every scene, pretty much, because they filmed some of it with some makeup that Donald Pleasance didn't end up liking, but then when they reshot all the scenes that had him in it, apparently in the editing they still accidentally put some scenes with him with like the really overboard makeup. So sometimes it'll switch literally back and forth the makeups in the same scene.
Yeah. A little bit of continuity errors.
Yeah.
You know,
It definitely
makes the
happens.
film a little bit more fun.
Yeah, it's, it happens.
It's like a spot the difference, but then you get to just watch it for an hour and 45 minutes.
No,
That's
hour
only like
28. How dare you? That's with, like, credits. Not hour 45. This is a good movie. It's under an hour and a half.
Well, that's exactly what makes a good movie. But
I think it does.
Let's continue.
Loomis is played by... Oh, sorry. He walks through the hall and enters Dr. Hoffman's office. Loomis is played by the returning late Donald Pleasance. Loomis says, "Why wasn't I notified?"
About what?
"You know dang well about what. You let them take it out of here."
For Christ's sake, spare me the speech. I've listened to it for a decade. The fact is that Michael Myers was a federal patient and a federal prisoner. Therefore, he is subject to federal law.
"We're not talking about any ordinary prisoner, Hoffman. We're talking about an evil on 2 legs.
I can see this is useless.
Do you know what today is? Do you know the date? Every day I look at myself in the mirror, and every day I remember. Look at me, Hoffman. Take a good look. I don't want to have to live that night again.
Anyone, even.
I don't want anyone to have to live through that night again."
I've said this before. I think you're the one who needs mental help.
The phone rings. Hoffman answers it, and it's Ghostface! Wait, no, it's... Well, actually, we don't know who it is. Probably a state trooper, but I guess it could be Ghostface. We don't ever hear their end of it. So actually, it is Ghostface. Specifically, Nancy Loomis. Is Nancy Loomis? I think it's Nancy. No, yeah, Nancy Loomis. You know. Billy's mother!
Yeah.
And also, apparently, Sam Loomis' sister. In my headcanon now.
Oh, okay. Yes. Dr. Hoffman. I see. Thank you.
Then he hangs up. He tells Loomis.
Apparently, there was an accident just south of Mill Creek, near the...
Loomis immediately starts to walk away.
Loomis!
We cut to the crash site, and Loomis and Hoffman arrive. Loomis asks, "Is that it?" pointing at the crashed ambulance.
Yes.
A state trooper walks up. The trooper is probably Trooper 1, who is played by Randy Kennedy. But it could be any of the following. Trooper 2, who is played by Don Glover. Trooper 3, who is played by Robert Conder. Trooper 4, who is played by Richard Jukes of the Philadelphia Experiment and the Animated Book of Mormon. So that's who it probably could be. There's also State Trooper at Ambulance Crash Site, who is an uncredited role played by the writer of the movie, Alan B. McElroy. But After watching the documentary, I can 100% confirm this trooper is not Alan B. McElroy, because Alan B. McElroy is an African-American gentleman, and this is a white dude.
And Hoffman now asks, when did this happen?
Sometime in the night. They probably lost the road in the storm and came down the embankment. It happened.
An accident?
Yes, sir. You believe that?
And why shouldn't I?
How many people in the bus?
4 plus Myers.
Why wouldn't you just say 5? I mean, how many bodies did you find? It's hard to tell. They're all chewed up. Loomis starts to head into the river to look in the back of the ambulance himself. Hoffman says,
Loomis, it's over. Leave it alone.
but Loomis does not, and wades through the waist-deep water, and we see the carnage in the back of the ambulance. Loomis, on his way back, says, He's gone. He was here, but he's gone.
Did you find any other bodies?
Not yet. There's a lot of ground to cover. You found him. You won't find him even. You won't find him. He's done all this. Now, he's escaped.
You don't know that. Michael could have been thrown from the bus.
I've seen bodies thrown 50, 60 feet from a crash site.
Even if by some miracle Michael is conscious, his muscles would be totally useless. Give the troopers a chance to search.
You're talking about him as if he were a human being. That part of him died years ago. Loomis turns to start walking away.
Now where are you going?
Haddonfield. It's a 4-hour drive. You can reach me through the local police. If you don't find him in 4 hours, I'm sure I will. We cut to a mechanic shop. The mechanic is working under a car, and we see some feet pass by. The mechanic says,
Am I the mechanic?
Yes,
Okay.
for this one line that he has.
Hey, George, how about 9/16 socket over there?
He pulls himself out from the car and is stabbed by Michael with a pipe. We cut to Loomis, driving up to the mechanic shop / gas station / diner. Loomis calls out, Hey! Hey there! Hello? We cut to some killer POV shots as Loomis fills up his gas tank. Loomis heads into the garage and calls out, Hello? Hello? Is anybody here? Hello? Hello? The mechanic, hung by chains, falls down in front of Loomis. Loomis heads into the diners and calls out, Is anybody here? He pulls out his gun and starts to look around. Behind the counter, he finds a waitress and says, God in heaven. The dead waitress is played by an uncredited Kelly Lookinland, who was the production secretary of the movie.
No?
Yeah. Loomis looks up from the body and sees the phone has been smashed. He heads over to the payphone on the other side of the room, but the cord has been ripped. Loomis turns and sees Michael, who's now wearing the mechanic's coveralls, standing in the kitchen. Loomis says, Michael, why now? You waited 10 years. I knew this day would come. Don't go to Haddonfield. You want another victim? Take me. But leave those people in peace. Please, Michael. Gosh dang you. And he shoots him 4 times! But Michael has disappeared. Loomis heads outside and yells, Michael! Michael breaks through the garage door, driving the mechanic's truck. Loomis shoots at the truck another 4 times! Somehow, the truck causes the gas pump to explode, which causes Loomis's car to explode. Loomis is able to jump behind some barrels and protect himself from the explosion. The fire and explosion also knock out the telephone line. Michael drives off. It's a fun little explosion stunt. I'm never not gonna be happy when an explosion stunt happens.
Big fan of Michael Bay.
No, not really. But just if it's a movie I enjoy and then there's also an explosion, I'm not gonna complain about that explosion. Even if after we do a podcast on it, someone points out to me that in Halloween 3 that the explosion that we both went, oh, that was cool, has a very obviously mannequin in it, like a shot where you can completely tell it's a mannequin, and we didn't even know it. Neither of us brought it up.
Yeah.
I just like explosions.
Going to go boom.
Yeah, boom boom is fun. We cut to Jamie getting out of class at school. 3 kids roll up on her. Kyle, Boy, and Girl are their credited names. Kyle is played by Jordan Bradley. Boy is played by Richie Kumba. Girl is played by Stephanie Dees. I believe I'm playing all 3 kids.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm playing.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't think I even wrote them down, but I am playing all 3 of them. So, they roll up. Kyle says, "Hey, Jamie, where's your costume? Where's your mask? Or are you wearing it?"
I don't need to wear a stupid costume.
"That's because every day is Halloween at Jamie's house. Right, Jamie? Because your uncle's the boogeyman." All 3 kids chant, "Boogeyman! Boogeyman! Jamie's uncle's the boogeyman!" Girl asks, "How come your mom didn't make you a costume, Jamie?" "How could she? Her mom is dead." Jeez. "Jamie's mom's a mommy." Jamie tries to walk away, saying,
Stop it, okay? Stop it.
all 3 kids follow her and start chanting, "Jamie's an orphan! Jamie's an orphan! Jamie's an orphan!"
Stop it. Please, stop it.
And she runs away as they continue chanting, "Jamie's an orphan!" We get a slow motion shot of Jamie running away, crying as she replays the horrible things the kids said in her head.
Yeah,
these kids could give Stephen King kids a run for their money. Like, at least those kids only kill you. These kids break her down emotionally first.
Yeah.
So she runs outside. She heads over and cries, leaning on a tree, and she tells herself,
You're okay. You're okay.
I'll pause right here just to say that, I was a fan of her in the Hatchet series, but oh my goodness, was Danielle Harris such a good child actress. Like, yes, when you say that, I don't think it's fair to call her like a good child. I think she's just a good actress at this point. Like, she has shown so much emotion, and she's 10. She shows more emotion than half the movies we've seen, and she was a 10-year-old little girl. Doesn't look like Chris agrees, so we're gonna move on. Because
At least I'm consistent with my Danielle Harris take.
Yeah, I guess. I don't understand how you don't like her in this. She's great in this. But there's not time to argue about it. I mean, there is, but I won't. Rachel and her friend Lindsay drive up. Rachel calls out, "Jamie?" Jamie comes over, and when Rachel sees her, she asks, "Jamie, are you okay?" They drive off. Lindsay is played by Leslie L. Rowland, and is supposed to be, it doesn't say it, but apparently she's supposed to be Lindsay Wallace, who is the little girl that I think officially Annie was babysitting, but then, Lori took over babysitting. Rachel asks, "You remember Lindsay, don't you?"
Hi, Jamie.
Yeah. Hi.
You ready for some ice cream?"
I want to go trick-or-treating like the other kids.
"But I thought you didn't want to go trick-or-treating."
I already forgot Lindsay's voice, I'll be honest.
It's okay, it doesn't matter. She's in this one scene, Chris. It doesn't matter.
Rach,
Discount Mod is
Definitely
having
not
a
the right
sale
voice.
on
We'll go
Halloween
with it.
costumes. Yeah, perfect.
"No, Brady's working there till 6 o'clock today."
I know. Do you want to talk to him?
"I don't want to look pushy."
You won't look pushy.
Well, I don't want to come on too strong. A guy hates a girl that comes on too strong. Fragile egos and all of that. That's not
Man,
true.
the 80s were a different
Yeah, I don't think
time.
that's true. I mean, if a girl wants to tell me she wants me, I'll be like, oh, thank you, and I'll cry because I'm scared.
Ah. Interesting.
So I guess maybe I do have a fragile ego. No, it's not an ego. It's just I'm scared.
I'm just fragile.
Yeah, I'm just a fragile person. Lindsay says,
You won't come on too strong.
well, I don't want to seem desperate or anything.
Face it, Rach. You are desperate. You're just going in and buy a costume for Jamie. Perfectly legit.
I don't know.
Well, do I drop you at the discount mart or the Dairy Queen?
Jamie?
Discount mart. Can we get ice cream after?
You bet. We cut to the discount mart, where Kelly Meeker is restocking some hair care products. Wade is staring at her while standing with Brady and Tommy Doyle, the little boy that Jamie watches. Not Jamie. Well, I mean, yes, Jamie Lee Curtis, but Lori watches. Kelly is played by Horror Bois alum Kathleen Kinmont of Bride of Reanimator. I believe she is the bride of Reanimator. Slash
Yes.
whatever the character's name was before she... I don't remember what the character... It doesn't matter.
Martha? Something
No, that's
with
not
an M?
right. I would have, like... If I heard the name Martha, I would always... That sticks with me. Because why would you say that name, you know?
Why would anyone name their child Martha?
I mean, really, though.
So Brady is played by
Oh, yeah.
Sasha Jensen of Ghoulies 2, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie, not the show, and Dazed and Confused alongside Horror Bois alums, cinematographer Lee Daniel, who worked in the camera department of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, art director and production designer John Frick of Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning, the faculty, and
Friday the 13th, 2009. The
yeah.
remake. Our stunt coordinator, the late Fred Lerner, worked on that as well. Willie Wiggins of The Faculty. Parker Posey of Scream 3. And Matthew McConaughey of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Next Generation. Wade is played by Richard Stay, who transitioned from acting into visual effects in the early 2000s and has worked on movies such as X2, Elf, Cloverfield, Fast and Furious, Fast 9, or F9, the Fast Saga, Dark Knight Rises, Black Panther, Man of Steel, Justice League, Harry Potter 5, 7 and 8, and Scooby-Doo alongside Horror Bois alums, makeup artist Steve Johnson of Nightmare on Elm Street 4, special effects artist and puppeteer Mario Torres Jr. of Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky, special effects artist and puppeteer Steve Newburn of Hereditary and the Chucky series, Chris Gauthier of Freddy vs. Jason, Seth Green... Yeah, whatever. Seth Green of Idle Hands, Freddie Prinze Jr. of I Know What You Did Last Summer and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, Sarah Michelle Gellar of I Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream 2, and Living Legend. Not Living Legend. It's not Living Legend, is it? It's
National Treasure.
National Treasure. I wrote Living Legend. I think I did that for Tony Todd earlier too. It's National Treasure. I mean, Tony Todd's also they both could also be Living Legends, but it's National Treasure. Matthew Lillard, who, is in Scream.
Yeah. And plays Shaggy in Scooby-Doo.
That's right. Tommy Doyle is played by Danny Ray. Brady says...
Oh, I'm Brady, right?
Yeah, Brady.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, money talks and bull
Nope,
poop
too early.
walks. Right. Hey, Wade, why don't you actually make your move?
Don't rush me, Brady. Timing's gotta be primo.
Yeah, well, money talks and bull poop walks. You know what I mean?
Double or nothing? You don't ask Kelly out. Alright, $10. Let's see it. Tommy lays down $10. Brady says,
He's not going to do it, chicken.
don't forget. I forgot which voice is which now. He's the more like, bruh, don't forget, man. She's Sheriff Meeker's daughter. Wade lays his money down and says, her daddy don't scare me. These might be wrong voices. I don't care. He heads over to Kelly, and before he can say anything, Kelly says, obscenity off, Wade. Tommy and Brady laugh at Wade. Rachel and Jamie are dropped off at the store. Brady says,
Rachel, what are you doing here? I thought I was supposed to pick you up.
Jamie needs a Halloween costume.
You do? Well, go down aisle 8. We've got the best costumes in the whole town.
Jamie tries to pull Rachel and says,
Come on, Rachel.
in a second. We need to talk.
Okay, sure. What about?
It's about tonight. Her and Brady walk off to talk, and Jamie goes to look for a costume. Behind Jamie, we can see a Michael Myers mask on the shelf as she looks at different costumes. Or whatever the Michael Myers mask is supposed to be. Because, I mean, It was a, off-the-rack mask in the first movie as well. So, I don't know what mask this is, who they're trying to sell this to.
Scary white man.
Yeah.
Ah!
All of them? Oh, we suck as a race. Alright, where was I? On the shelf behind her as she looks at costumes. She pushes past multiple costumes, including a witch, a pumpkin, and a skeleton! In a reference to, I don't know what that could be a reference to. She eventually finds a clown costume as the music gets dramatic. Jamie calls out.
Rachel, I found the perfect costume. Come see.
We cut to Rachel and Brady kissing. Rachel pulls away and Brady asks,
What?
my parents' babysitter canceled.
So
I have to watch Jamie tonight.
Oh! When did you find this out?
This morning.
Well, you found out this morning. Why didn't you tell me this before? It's 5 o'clock now, Rachel.
Don't get angry.
I'm not angry. It's just... It's... Can I come over after Jamie goes to sleep?
My parents are going to come home early tonight.
So?
I don't know, Brady.
Okay. I guess I'll call you later.
And he walks away. Back to Jamie, who holds up the costume in front of herself in the mirror. We see a shot of Michael's burnt hand grab the mask off the shelf. Jamie's reflection turns to a young Michael Myers wearing the clown outfit, holding a knife. Young Michael Myers is played by an uncredited Eric Preston, who actually auditioned for the role of Kyle.
Oh?
But didn't get it, and they gave him this instead.
Oh, they told me Kyle.
No?
Is Kyle not the kid who makes fun of Jamie?
Yeah, and young Michael Myers in the reflection
Oh.
is supposed to be like a 7-year-old kid.
No, that makes sense. I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about Michael Myers.
No, we already talked about him. It was Tom Morga and George Wilbur.
Yeah, which makes sense. I thought that they just snagged some random other person.
No, Eric Preston is the little kid playing
Little
Michael Myers. Young Michael Myers, as I called him.
Yeah.
Jamie backs away from the mirror into a newly masked Michael Myers. She screams and backs up to the mirror, shattering it. Rachel runs over and asks, Jamie, what happened?
It was a nightmare, man.
What?
He's come to get me, Rachel.
You're okay. You probably saw a mask and it scared you. At least you're not cut. Come on, let's go home.
Is she gonna be okay?
She'll be fine. We see a shot of Michael Myers reflecting in the broken mirror.
Bum bum bum.
We cut to Loomis, who's on the street trying to hitchhike. The first car passes by. The second car, full of teenagers, stops and calls him over. But they peel out before actually letting him in and leave him in the dust. Then a truck drives up, and the driver, Reverend Jackson P. Sawyer, says,
I can't remember what accent this guy has, but
it's
I
a
think he's
weird
like
one.
kind of Irish, right?
A little bit like Irish mixed with Southern almost. I would
Yeah,
say.
he's like a weird. Oh man, get in gear, old man. It ain't good. I ain't got till judgment tea.
Loomis hobbles over and gets in the truck. Reverend Sayer is played by the late Carmen Felipe of Escape from New York, Alligator 2, Beetlejuice, Wedding Singer, Wayne's World, and Ed Wood, alongside Horror Bois alums Patricia Arquette of Nightmare on Elm Street and Johnny Depp of Nightmare on Elm Street. Sorry, Patricia Arquette's Nightmare on Elm Street 3. I missed the number there. Johnny Depp is in Nightmare on Elm Street and Freddy's Dead. Loomis says, "Thank you."
Anything for a fellow pilgrim. We're all on a quest. Sometimes we need help getting where we want to be.
He sneezes and then offers his hand for a handshake and continues.
Reverend Jackson P. Sayer, Dumont County. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
How far are you going, Mr. Sayer?
God's country, the promised land. Where are you heading, Mr.
Loomis. Haddonfield.
Car trouble?
Sort of.
You're hunting it, ain't ya? Yeah, you're hunting it all right. Just like me.
What are you hunting, Mr. Sayer?
Apocalypse. End of the world. Armageddon. So he's got a face and a name.
He then takes a swig from his bottle of liquor and continues.
I've been hunting a fatherless child for 30 years, give or take. Come close a time or two. Two they ain't close. You can't kill damnation, mister. You don't die like a man dies.
I know that, Mr. Sawyer.
Oh, you're a pilgrim, alright. I saw it on your face back there in the dust. I saw it clear as breasts and blue suede shoes. Would you like a drink?
Loomis takes the bottle and has a drink. Sayer starts singing.
Yes, we'll gather at the river, the beautiful, beautiful river. Gather with the saints at the river.
We fade into later the night, back in Haddonfield as kids are trick-or-treating. We cut to Jamie clearing the table after dinner. Mr. Crothers says, "Okay, Jamie, we're leaving. Where's Rach?"
I don't know.
"Here I am."
How do we look?
"You guys always look great."
We'll be at the phone books. The number's next to the phone.
"I know, and next to that is the police, hospital, fire, and probably the National Guard." "I want you to have fun tonight. Make sure Jamie is in bed by 9:30. "You're gonna be late. You don't want to blow your promotion."
Don't make fun. Tonight's the difference between vacations Bermuda or spending another 2 weeks with your grandmother in Cleveland.
"So hurry up."
Bye.
"See ya."
Mr. Crothers.
They can tell the voice, Chris. They don't need me to say.
Oh, I didn't
Okay.
hear you.
Got you. I forget that his voice doesn't always pick up.
Yeah.
I was like, I already said it. We don't have to tell them which voice that was. It was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
They might have thought that was Brady, though. Even though I don't even play him.
Now you also say.
Do I? I'm still here? I thought I left. Oh, you mean
Not
Austin
him.
says.
Correct.
I thought you meant me, Mr. Carruthers.
No.
I'm going to keep saying this as the joke, because I can't find where I am on the page.
Rachel says.
Oh, here we are. Carruthers says, "See ya." And then Rachel says, "Good luck, Dad." Once they leave, Jamie asks,
Rachel, can I go out and get my costume on?
"Yeah, hurry up."
Okay.
And she runs upstairs to get ready. We cut to killer POV from outside that follows Rachel to the phone, where she calls Brady's house. Brady isn't home yet, so she leaves a message for him with whoever answered. Probably his mother, maybe his father, we'll never know. Maybe his little sister, maybe his cousin from out of town. We don't know. Could it be Ghostface? Probably.
Yeah.
Rachel calls out, "Come on, Jamie. You're gonna miss all the good candy. Come on, Jamie." Jamie comes down the stairs and opens the front door, saying,
Come on, Rachel.
"Coming.
I thought you said you were ready.
I'm ready. Okay, let's go." We cut back to killer POV as Michael goes upstairs and into Jamie's room. He finds the pictures of Laurie Strode, confirming to him that he's found his niece, as well as a picture of Jamie with her dad. So, he knows what she looks like. We cut to Loomis, arriving at the police station. Loomis says,
"Oh, I need to speak with Sheriff Brackett."
A police officer, deputy even, I almost called him a doctor, he's not. Deputy Pierce replies,
My deputy.
"Yes, you are.
Okay.
I'm the voice of all the true crime documentaries."
Well, then you'll have to travel about 3,000 miles south of here.
What?
Brackett retired back in 81. He moved to St. Petersburg.
Oh, well, who's the new sheriff?
I am Ben Meeker.
Deputy Pierce is played by Horror Bois alum Michael Flynn of I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. Sheriff Ben Meeker is played by Beau Starr of Summer School, Fletch, Cinderella Man, and Speed, alongside Horror Bois alums Richard Lineback of Friday the 13th Part 5, Beth Grant of Child's Play 2, and Dennis Hopper of Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Loomis says,
Oh, Sheriff Meeker, my name is Dr.
Loomis. Folks around here aren't likely to forget your face. At least not cops. So what brings you back here after 10 years?
Michael Myers has escaped from Ridgemont. He's here in Haddonfield.
That's impossible. Michael Myers is an invalid.
He's here, Sheriff.
Why?
10 years ago, he tried to kill Laurie Strode. Now, he wants her daughter.
You talking about Jamie Lloyd?
Whoever she is, that little child is in mortal danger.
Myers has been locked up since before she was born. He's never even laid eyes on her.
6 bodies! Sheriff, that's what I've seen. Between here and Ridgemont. A filling station in flames, I tell you. Michael Myers is here in this town. He's here to kill that little girl and anybody who gets in his way.
All right, Pierce. Call the troops and check his story out. And assuming what you say is true.
It's true, Sheriff.
Fine. All right, it's true. The hell can we do to avoid a repeat of 10 years ago?
Find the little girl and get her someplace safe. Call the local TV station. Tell them to get people off the streets and behind locked doors.
Deputy Pierce says. Can't get long distance, Sheriff. The operator says the lines are down. All right, let's go.
When he makes that call.
All right, Pierce, do it. Let's check out this little girl.
Check on.
Check on this.
Not check. I will not go with you to check out this little girl, Mika. That is
That's fair.
disgusting.
Let's check on this little
I'm
girl.
about to shoot you 6 times.
That's fair.
Loomis and
Loomis-
Meeker leave the station.
There they go.
We cut to Jamie and Rachel trick-or-treating. They finish up at a house and Jamie runs to the sidewalk. Jamie, wait for me.
This is great, Rachel. Come on.
The next house has an old elderly woman answer the door. The elderly woman is played by the late Beverly Rowland of The Animated Book of Mormon.
That's awesome.
That's the third person. I believe it's the last one, too. Which also, I did find out why later, which I guess I'll bring up here. This movie is not shot in California like the first three were. This movie is set in Hannaford, Illinois, but it's shot in Salt Lake City, Utah. And that's why
where all the Mormons are.
everyone's in the animated Book of Mormon. As well as, to be fair, some of them are also like in like the animated Bible, and there was like a couple other like obviously made by the same people. But it's more funny to bring up the animated Book of Mormon because the fact that exists, I find a little humorous.
That is pretty silly.
Yeah. After the house, Rachel says, "Had enough?"
No way. Halloween's great. Can we stay out all night?
Forget it, kiddo. No, we're home by 8 o'clock. In front of the next house, there's a group of kids. One kid says, "Hey guys, it's Jamie!" This might be Hick Kid, who is played by Ron Harrison. I don't know. There's a credit for Hick Kid. It could be this kid. It could be some other kid. I'll just bring him up here. Then Kyle, from the school earlier, says, "Oh, that clown costume's really cool."
Really?
Yeah. Hey, want to go with us? Also, sorry for bullying you earlier. Just kidding. I don't apologize. I just invite you to play with us, and you think that's enough. Remember when I gave you emotional distress by bringing up your dead mother?
It happened.
I'm a good guy, though, because I let you trick-or-treat with us. We see a shot of Michael around a corner in the shadows. Rachel gives Jamie permission, and she heads up to the house in the group of kids. Jamie, that is. And Rachel follows behind the group. The door is answered by Kelly, who's only wearing a shirt that says, "Cops do it by the books." Kelly says, "Hi, Rachel." "Hi." She sees Brady in the house, and she turns to walk away. Brady calls out,
Rachel!
and he goes to follow her. Kelly tries to stop him, saying, "Brady. Brady."
Justice, shut up.
Okay.
I said just a second.
And he goes after Rachel. Brady says,
Rachel, I got an explanation. Wait, let me explain.
"You don't owe me anything, Brady." Jamie doesn't realize Rachel stopped to talk to Brady and goes off with the group of kids.
Rachel, would you hold on a second?
Just leave me alone and let's forget it.
No, you don't understand. I was having harmonica sessions with it. I mean, you blow off our date at the last minute.
So, you hop on the next best thing? I thought you were different from other guys.
Oh, I'm different. I'm really stupid. I mean, it's just that I just got pissed off, that's all.
Oh, really? Well, I'll let you get back to the little Miss Hot Panties.
Rachel!
Rachel calls out, "Jamie!" Kelly says, "Brady, are you coming or what?" Brady goes inside the house with Kelly. You know why? Because you can never trust a color. They're the worst. But not as bad as a baka. Baka. I need to make some character have that voice at some point.
God.
Oh, I don't even know this character's name. She just hates baka.
That's just Lumpy's Space Princess.
Yeah, but I came up with it independently of that. Is it the same voice? Yes. But I had come up with that voice not knowing that before.
Yeah.
The dum dum dum.
Uh-huh.
Brady
Brady
goes
goes into the
We
house
cut to
with Chloe.
Rachel down the street calling out, Jamie! Jamie! Great, Rachel. Just great. We cut to a bar. On the TV, a news broadcast with an anchorwoman giving an announcement. The anchorwoman is played by Tammy Sanders. The anchorwoman says, By order of the Sheriff's Office, all citizens of Hunterfeld are asked to clear the streets. The bartender, Earl, tells his regulars,
Everybody shut up. A gosh dang minute. Shut up.
Earl is played by Horror Bois alum Gene Ross of Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. His regulars are Unger, Big Al, and Orrin. Unger is played by the late Logan Field. Big Al is played by Michael Rood of The Philadelphia Experiment and Meet the Deedles, alongside Horror Bois alums Steve Van Warmer of Idle Hands, Richard Lineback, Dennis Hopper, and Robert England. Orrin, who's also apparently, at least according to the Halloween wiki, which I trust because they do way more research than I ever would think to, that Orrin is also apparently the brother of Big Al. Orrin is played by Eric Hart of Silent Night, Deadly Night. The news broadcast continues. All businesses are asked to close as soon as possible.
What's all that poop about, Earl?
The anchorwoman finishes. Stay tuned to the station for updates.
Am I also Big Al?
No, I'm Big Al. You're Orrin and Unger. I'm Big Al and... I split it
I
halfway.
had
I'm Big Al and
Dingy
Earl.
Dingy.
And you're Orrin and Unger. So Big Al says...
Ain't like old Ben Meeker to do something like that.
Sure ain't. Martians can land on Ben's doorstep, and he do what the he do is spit once and get himself a shotgun.
Who you calling?
Police station. I ain't closing down without a good gosh dang reason.
Well,
It just rings. Earl finishes beer and says, Well, come on, Jackie, watch the register for me, huh? No, even, hun, my woman.
you got it, Earl.
Someone, we'll say Orrin, asks.
What's going down?
Big Al says,
Where we going, Earl?
We're going to Ben's. The phone never rings just rings at a police station. No way, no how. Someone else, we'll say Unger, says,
You want to wake up the sheriff?
multiple truckloads of rednecks drive off together. We cut to Loomis and Meeker arriving at the Carruthers house. Loomis heads into Jamie's room and sees the photo of Laurie on the ground, and he looks up in shock. Meeker comes in and says,
Something.
He's been here.
How do you know?
Loomis gestures to the closet, and we, the audience, and Meeker see Sunday dead in the closet.
Meeker says, This is starting to spook me, Doc.
At least you're not alone.
They head downstairs. Meeker tells Deputy Logan,
Logan, I want you to stay here in case the family gets back.
Logan replies,
Right.
Right?
No, it's me. I'm
Oh,
Logan.
Oh, okay.
Because he mostly talks to... He really talks to everyone, so I had just given him to me to make it a little bit more even at one point.
Okay.
What is his voice? He's not I can't make him a redneck, because I only have like 2 redneck voices. Well, I guess if I might
He
do
has a very regular guy voice,
Yeah.
to be fair.
So, he's got a really regular voice, you say.
Mm-hmm.
A regular voice. Alright, how about... Right here, Ben!
It's a black spider.
Yes, the Black Spider, and no other character that we think of when we do his voice.
Definitely not.
We don't say the other one.
No, we don't.
We just say the Black Spider.
You look sharp, you understand.
No problem, Sheriff. Meeker and Loomis leave. Deputy Logan is played by George Sullivan of Deadly Invasion, the killer bee nightmare. We cut to a
Wow.
power worker working on the grid. The power worker is played by the late Harlow Marks. Who's the power worker? It's me. Okay. The power worker calls out, "Hey, you! This is city property! No trespassing!" But Michael Myers doesn't seem to care. The power worker says, "What? Are you deaf? Don't try that Halloween poop with me. All right, I'm on the telephone to the police right now. And don't you ever think about leaving. Even. Don't you even think about leaving." Michael throws the power worker into the transformer and kills the man while also taking down the power grid. We cut back to Rachel, looking for Jamie. We get some killer POV shots. Watching Rachel searching. We cut to the now. Wait, cut to the now?
Now empty streets.
We cut.
And see
Oh yeah,
Jamie
we
all
cut
alone.
to the now empty streets. That does make sense. Okay, but my brain got broken in the middle there. Like, well, we cut to the now. It doesn't make any sense ever, but it does actually.
It does.
And we see Jamie is all alone. She hears a branch break behind her and says,
Rachel, is that you? Is that you?
She looks around and the music gets really scary as we focus onto something in the background. It's a jack-o'-lantern. I kind of expected this to be like one of those shots where you see Michael there, but it's not. It's just a jack-o'-lantern. I watched it a couple times, like really trying to pay attention to see if there's anything we were supposed to glean from it. Because it's like a real like zoom-in shot at a music cue. So you're like, oh, this is important. It's not. It's just jack-o'-lantern.
No.
Which I guess, because of that, I will bring up here that because this movie was shot in the spring, that actually would have not been a pumpkin. It would have been a gourd painted orange. Back to Rachel, who says, Jamie. She looks over and sees Michael in the fog. He takes a step towards her, and Rachel runs away, climbing over the fence to get away from him. Back to Jamie, who turns around and yells,
Whoever you are, I have a big dog with me, and he bites.
She turns around and is reunited with Rachel. Rachel asks, "Where have you been? Don't ever go off on your own at night again. Okay? Not ever." They hug. Loomis and Meeker drive up in the cop car. Meeker says,
Rachel, Jamie, thank God.
"What's going on?"
In the car. Come on. Quick.
They get in, and we see Michael Myers standing off by a house. Loomis and Meeker see him. Meeker asks,
Is that him? Is that him?
Yes.
Meeker, I think.
I
I don't know why it says Merle. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
Meeker.
It does say Merle. Loomis.
Loomis turns and sees there's a second Michael Myers approaching.
He's
Meeker
multiplied.
turns
No.
around to see a third Michael Myers and says,
Oh, Christ, dog.
Dear God.
he aims his gun at the second one, who takes out the mask and yells, "Don't shoot!" The other two reveal it was all a prank and run away. Meeker yells,
Get home, dang it. There's a curfew. I catch your butt, it'll be a weekend in jail. You alright, Doc? Come on, we'll get to the station. Get these kids safe.
Jamie starts to cry and Rachel embraces her, saying, "It's okay." They start to drive off. Meeker radios.
Station.
We
Oh,
gotta
yep,
mention the
sorry.
radio part, because this is not just a conversation.
Station. Station. This is 132. Come in, Pierce. Come in, Pierce.
That's my radio sound. Can't you tell? Because yours, I think you might have tried one because you put your hand up. I don't know if you did, but it did not pick
Oh,
up.
yeah, I tried.
Yeah, it did not pick. Your
No, I
radio
picked up.
sound does not pick up.
Cool.
There's no response. We, the audience, see Michael Myers standing in the street menacingly. We cut to Meter and Lucas is their new names. We cut to Meeker and Loomis entering the trashed and bloodied police station. Meeker says,
He wouldn't have given up without a fight.
They didn't know what they were fighting.
Meeker now finds the armless body of Deputy Logan. Meeker asks, how could a man do this, Loomis? Tell me.
It isn't a man.
Then what is he? Tell me. What the hell are we dealing with?
Evil.
They head outside just as the redneck militia show up. Earl asks, Bam, what in the Sam Hill is going on?
Go on home, Earl. This is police business.
Someone, we'll say Oren, says.
What the hell did this?
Earl says, Look like to me you're all out of business. Now I want some answers.
I haven't got the time or the patience to argue with you. Now go home to your families where you belong.
Unger says,
You forget who's paying your salary, Sheriff.
I just want to say, I mean, it doesn't matter, because these are your voices for them. But I actually think if you had swapped these two voices, it would have been a lot closer to their real voices. But it's too late now.
I don't remember who either character.
I want to say Unger was definitely the more high-pitched. He was like the high-pitched old man Southerner with them. It's okay. I like your rendition, but it is just funny that of your two characters, one has a slightly deeper pitch and one has a slightly higher pitch, and you reversed which one is which. But to be fair, I actually think that the closed captions also would miscredit things a couple times, or like, that's not the right person's mouth moving. So I would put the actual right person in here. So Unger says, you forgot who playing your salary. Loomis says,
It was Michael Myers.
He's paying the salary.
He's come home to kill.
Let it be, Earl. Let the police handle it.
Like the last time? How many people killed back then? How many kids?
Here lost his boy 10 years back.
Well, this is British now.
well, not this time, Ben. I'll handle this on my own. We're gonna fry his butt. Earl cocks his shotgun, and the redneck militia heads out. Meeker says,
You stupid son of a bad woman. You just created a lynch mob.
You haven't got a police force!
These men... Oh, sorry. I thought that was the end of the line. Sorry.
You haven't got a police force! These men may be the only defense you've got.
Come on, let's move out.
Let's hunt this fatherless child.
God help us.
We cut to Deputy Logan, who radios. 132? 132? This is 134. Over.
This is 133. Over.
Wait, it's 134. I wrote the wrong number. It's real
This
close.
is 134 over. This is 132 actually.
Wait, what? Oh, that's right.
Because you're 134.
That's
I'm
right, I am
132.
134. You idiot. I thought you were the police captain or whatever. Sheriff. Ben, I just heard about the station. We pan to the back and see Michael hiding in the back seat.
Now you get over to my house and we'll call the state boys from there.
I'll be there in 5 minutes. He drives off from the Crothers home. Right after he pulls out, Mr. and Mrs. Crothers pull into the driveway. And they have a meaningless conversation about how the kids aren't home. At first I started writing it down, got about halfway through, I was like, there's nothing of substance here. So I don't have their dialogue in this anymore. We cut to the redneck militia, driving by a park.
Warren yelled.
There he is.
They pull over, and Oren says,
I seen his face. Right there, Al. Right there in those bushes.
they all aim at some bushes, and when they see them rustle, they unload multiple shots. Earl
Comically large amounts of shots into this bush.
said, yeah, they had to make sure it's dead.
Yeah.
Earl says, Come on. They go over and check the body, and Unger says,
Poop, Earl. It's Ted Hollister.
Earl turns to Orin and says, You dumb son of a bad woman. You said you saw Myers. We cut to Brady and Kelly getting musical by the fire. Kelly says, Let's go upstairs.
Nah, I think we're doing just fine right here.
They kiss some more before Kelly takes off her shirt. Brady says,
I think I'm in heaven.
Some more kissing and disrobing. It looks like they're just about to play harmonica, but they stop when they hear a car drive up outside.
Poop.
It's my dad. I
Your
don't think it's
dad.
their voice. I'm supposed to sound more slutty. I mean, loose moraled.
You're dad. You're dad!
I also just want to say, though, I didn't write it down here, but in the closed captions it says, your dad, like it's supposed to. And then for the emphasis one, it says, your dad, you are. Like, your dad!
You are dad!
Yeah, it's like, wait, what? The first one's right, and then the second one, it switches to, you are. Like, your dad! Nah, I'm not. I'm Kelly. God, if he catches us like this,
Poop.
he's gonna skin you alive.
What?
For starters. Come on. Come on.
We're going.
Outside, Loomis asks,
Where's the deputy?
We'll be here in a minute.
Meeker, Loomis, and the girls head inside. Deputy Logan drives up right after they go in. Brady and Kelly got dressed and sit down in time to make it look like they didn't do anything. And almost not look suspicious.
Hey.
Meeker
Rachel.
says... Oh, yeah, sorry.
Rachel, take your sister upstairs. First door on the right.
Dad, what's going on?
Kelly, I want you to close and lock all the downstairs windows.
Why?
Just do it.
Where's the radio?
Right through the kitchen. You'll see the basement stairs. Brady, do you know how to use a gun? Yes, sir.
Meeker goes to his gun cabinet and grabs a shotgun. He hands it to Brady and asks,
Think you can handle that? Yeah. You want to tell me what's happening? Yeah, when I have time. You got your right gun?
In the trunk of my squad.
Go get it.
Okay. Logan leaves. He doesn't say okay. Meeker hands Brady some shotgun shells and a toolbox saying,
Take these. Okay, you got a hammer and roofing nails, and I want you up in the attic securing it so nobody can get in. You know, if something's happening, I should just go ahead and call my parents. Just get up in the attic. Oh, yeah. I catch you groping my daughter, I'll use that shotgun on you. You understand?
Brady nods and heads upstairs. We cut to Logan outside, who sees his back door is open. He looks around confused, but doesn't do anything and just closes the door and grabs his riot gun from the trunk.
Yeah, it doesn't tell anyone either.
Yeah, no, he's like, oh, that's weird. That's so weird. Logan returns inside. Meeker tells him,
All right, get the outside shutters.
What are we doing?
Making sure no one can get in here.
Isn't all of this a little paranoid?
If you'd seen that police station, you wouldn't even ask.
We cut to Jamie and Rachel upstairs. Brady knocks on the door and comes in. Brady says,
Rich, you okay?
We've been better.
What's going on?
Michael Myers.
Who's that?
10 years ago? Halloween? He's Jamie's uncle. Jamie, crying,
Let's
says.
go right.
Brady says.
I'm gonna be outside, upstairs in the attic.
We get a quick shot of Logan nailing the outside shutters closed. Then we cut to Brady in the attic as he walks around cautiously. Then we come back downstairs. Kelly says, "That's all the windows, Dad."
Alright, good. Good. Logan, I want you right here by the front door, okay? This is the deadbolt key. Alright, we're secure. When I padlock the back door, this is the only way in and out of this house. You got that?
I got it!
Alright, hun. Why don't you go make us some coffee?
Alright. We cut to Brady nailing one of the attic windows shut, and he hits his finger. Aww.
Oh!
He hears the wood creaking behind him, and he looks around. He then gets scared by a cabinet creaking open. Oh, but it's nothing. There's nothing there. It's not even a cat. It's not even the classic horror cat.
No, it's literally just
It's literally it's like I don't know what they're called. Like, it's like the sewing mannequin. I don't remember what that's called. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, it's got no arms, no head, but it's for sewing specifically. Like, it's basically a giant pin cushion, so you can hold it while you go. It's got a name, I'm sure, but I don't know it.
It's a mannequin.
Is it just a
For all
mannequin?
intents and purposes.
Okay.
So back to Rachel and Jamie.
No,
Well,
I want
Jamie
to keep talking about the sewing mannequin.
Can we go home soon, Rachel?
No, because I want to talk about the sewing mannequin.
And Rachel replies,
Real soon, Jamie. Now, shh. We cut to Meeker and Loomis at the radio in the basement.
How's it powered?
batteries, idiot. Please,
Shut up.
put your doctor.
I'm
I'm
gonna
playing
kill
the
you.
generator for the
I'll
house.
shoot you
next week.
6 times. Are these 9 volts or 6 volts?
I wish I hadn't waited. You think the radios? This is Squads. 790, Haddonfield. Broadcasting on a state police emergency frequency. Can anyone hear me? Can anyone hear me?
Meeker off the
Dang
radio
it.
says.
Dang it.
We cut to Logan upstairs, who sees a chair near the door and pulls it closer and sits down. We head to the kitchen for a quick shot of Kelly making coffee. Up to Rachel, who after a kiss leaves a sleeping Jamie in the room and heads downstairs. She walks past Logan, who asks, "Everything all right?" Jamie's sleeping. When can we go home? State police will be here soon. Not long after that. Don't worry. I'm trying. It won't be long. We cut back to the basement. Loomis says,
I hear someone.
on the radio. Frank says, "Yeah." No, I did that voice. What other voices are there? Yeah, this is Frank Duke from Tuckerville. You got some kind of emergency? Over.
Yeah, this is Ben Meeker, sheriff over at Haddonfield. Our phone and power lines are down and we have a killer running loose in the street. Michael Myers.
Is this some kind of Halloween prank?
This is no joke. We need those troopers and we need them now.
All right. I'll get the troopers right away. Hang on. I'll need some information.
Not going anywhere, Mr.
You also gotta
Duke.
pay me.
No,
Oh, okay. I tried.
I think that's how it works. Got to Rachel upstairs entering the kitchen.
Loomis comes up from the basement and asks,
Rachel, is your sister all right?
"She's fine."
Good.
We follow Loomis into the living room, where he tells Logan,
Sheriff's radioed for help. They'll be here soon.
"Hell of a night."
It's not over yet.
"Where are you going?"
To the Carruthers house. That's where Jamie lives. That's where he'll go.
"Leave Myers to the state boys."
The state police will not know how to stop him.
"Do you?"
Maybe nobody knows how to stop him. But I've got to try.
Loomis leaves. Back to the kitchen. Kelly is looking around, and Rachel, this is just me talking to myself for like the next 2 scenes, apparently. Back to the kitchen. Kelly is looking around, and Rachel grabs the sugar and says, "Are you looking for this?" Kelly takes the sugar and says, "I didn't know you and Brady had anything, okay?" "You knew. You just didn't care. He's not married. Besides, I've got a right to do what's best for me. Don't you mean what you do best? Wise up. Wise up to what men want, Rachel. Or Brady won't be the last man you lose to another woman." Rachel walks up and pours coffee on Kelly's shirt, saying, "Have some coffee." We cut to the basement, where over the radar, Meeker finds out that the redneck militia accidentally killed Ted Hollister. Rachel comes down the stairs and asks, "Sheriff, what's going on out there?" Meeker doesn't answer her, but says,
Now, Rachel, you stay by this radio. State boys will send word once they're en route. When that word comes, you go tell Deputy Logan.
"Okay."
Now you understand?
"Uh-huh." Meeker heads upstairs and tells Logan,
I'll be down at the gateway. I doubt I'll be back before the troopers get here.
"Maybe you ought to wait here till they do."
Hey, I got a town full of beer bellies running around in the dark with a shotgun. Who's gonna be next? Somebody's wife? Somebody's kid? I can't stand by for that.
He leaves. We cut to Jamie waking up upstairs. She looks around and says,
Rachel?
we get a quick shot of Rachel in the basement. Then to Kelly carrying the coffee out to the living room. She walks up behind Logan and says, "I thought you might like some coffee." He doesn't respond, but keeps rocking in the chair. Kelly says, "Pretty boring out here. Wish they'd fix the power. At least we'd have some MTV while we wait for the cavalry. Or, as the closed caption says, Calvary." She sets down the coffee and lights a candle. The candle light reveals the dead body of Deputy Logan! "Ah."
Ah!
Well, does she gasp? It's me. "Ah." Michael stands up from the rocking chair with the shotgun in his hand. He walks over and shoves the gun through her stomach and the wall, pinning her to the wall in an homage to Bob's death in the OG. We cut to Rachel in the basement. A state trooper on the radio says, "Haddonfield, we should have cars dispatched in 5 minutes. ETA, 35 minutes. Over." Over and out? Wait, I jumped. Okay. Great. We'll be waiting. 10-4. Over. Over and out. She heads upstairs. She doesn't see Logan in his chair, so she calls out, "Deputy Logan! Deputy!" She looks around and finds his dead body. Then she turns and she sees Kelly's dead body in the wall. She lets out an awesome Scream Queen level scream. She then runs upstairs to get Jamie, but she's gone. She heads back downstairs and runs into Brady. "Ha!" Who asked?
No, what we gotta do is...
Nope.
What is going on?
Rachel starts to head upstairs and says, "I've got to find Jamie." Brady pulls her back down and says,
No, what we gotta do is get out of here right now. And Rachel pulls
away, saying, "Not without Jamie." Brady points to Logan's dead body and says,
Look, you think she stands a chance?
"She's not dead."
No?
He heads over to the door, but the deadbolt key isn't there. He asks,
Is there another key?
"I don't know."
Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
He then shoots the deadbolt out. He runs over and burns his hand and says,
Ah, it's metal. Gosh dang it, it's metal.
What does that mean?
We're trapped in this house. Nah.
They make it halfway up the stairs to the landing, and Rachel sees Jamie at the top and runs to her, saying, "Jamie!"
Oh, Rachel.
Brady sees Michael on the ground floor and says,
Rachel?
Rachel yells, "Brady!"
Move back.
He aims his gun at Michael and goes to shoot him, but the gun isn't loaded. He struggles to try and load it as Michael approaches. He gets it loaded just as Michael's next to him, but Michael pushes him back against the wall before Brady can try and shoot him. Brady gets up and tries to hit Michael with the gun, but Michael shrugs it off and grabs the gun and hits Brady in the face with it. Michael throws the gun downstairs. During all this, Rachel has been screaming, and Jamie is finally able to pull her away. Brady tries punching Michael, but it's to no avail. And Michael, to me it looked like he crushed his head, but I also heard people say, like, multiple places people talk about him getting his neck broken. I can't tell what he kills him. He grabs his head and kills him. It does look like he's dying. I just don't know what is supposed to actually be happening.
Yeah. A little bit of column A, a little bit of
Yeah,
column
he
B.
kills him. That's what happens.
Wrenching his head,
Yeah.
squeezing it, something. He's dead.
Yep. No more Brady.
Ah,
Rachel yells from the
dead.
attic stairs. "Leave us alone! God, leave us alone!" Her and Jamie throw stuff from the attic down onto the stairs to try and block the path. It does deter Michael somewhat, buying them some time. The girls can't open the window because it's nailed shut. Michael grabs a knife in the attic. Rachel says, "Jamie, get down! Get down!" And she uses a suitcase to break the window. Rachel has Jamie get on her back, and they head to the roof. Rachel starts to work her way up to the top of the roof. A shingle gives out way, and they slide back down. A fact, not gonna say a fun fact, but a fact about the movie is Rachel's actress, Ellie, got, like, cut by, like, a staple or nail while filming that scene, and got patched up and then went back to shooting. She was treated... Nope, already read that. I reworded it, but yeah. Rachel gets them back up to the top, but Michael has made his way up there. Rachel says, "I want you to get down to the chimney, Jamie."
I can't.
"Well, try, dang it!" Jamie slides down to the chimney as Michael starts swiping at Rachel. Rachel gets away by rolling down the roof to the chimney. Rachel grabs some wires and starts to wrap it around Jamie, saying, "I'm gonna lower you down, Jamie, okay?"
Rachel.
I got you, come on, go down. Now, I've got you, Jamie. I've got you. I've got you. When Michael swipes at Rachel, she drops the wires and rolls out of the way. Jamie falls until the length of the cord stops her halfway down. Rachel ends up rolling off of the roof, catching herself on the gutter. Michael starts swiping at her fingers, and she lets go, falling to the ground. Jamie swings her way to a trellis and climbs down. She runs over to Rachel and says,
Oh,
"That's right, that's what she says."
Oh,
come alive, Rachel. Please come alive. Don't be dead. You can't be dead. Come alive, Rachel. Eh.
Jamie cries over the body of Rachel.
I mean, yes, but geez, like, her sister, she thinks is dead. Or is dead at this point, for all we know. Yeah.
But when Jamie sees Michael standing on the ground, she runs away screaming.
Help! Please, somebody help me. Please, help me. Please help me. Please. Please help me. Somebody, please help me.
I believe there's one more.
Please, somebody help me.
We cut back to Rachel as she comes to from the fall. Jamie is found by Loomis, who asks,
What are you doing here alone?
Everybody's dead. I just want to go home.
No, you can't. I've just been there. That's the first place he'll look for you. Where's the schoolhouse? The schoolhouse! Where is the schoolhouse?
Jamie points and says,
It's over there.
They both run to the school. I mean, Loomis hobbles, but he's doing his best.
Yeah.
And she's, holding his hand, so she's only going as fast as he hobbles. Loomis shoots the chains off the door and they head inside. The alarm goes off as they enter. Loomis says,
We'll hear some sirens soon.
Then we'll be safe.
Yeah.
You don't believe that, do you?
No.
Michael grabs Loomis from behind and throws him through the glass door to a classroom. Jamie tries to open other locked doors, saying,
No, please. Somebody, help me. No.
He looks back down the hall. She even looks back down the hall and starts to make her way down the hall. She looks up some stairs and sees Michael standing halfway up with a knife. She screams and runs away. She trips down some stairs that lead to the exit. Michael continues to pursue her. She crawls towards the door, but Michael grabs her by the ankle. Rachel comes in with a fire extinguisher and sprays Michael with it, causing him to let go of Jamie. We cut to the redneck militia, hearing the alarm at the school, and they stop at the school. Rachel comes out carrying Jamie. Earl says, "What's going on here? We heard the alarm." "He's inside."
Jesus. Where?
"In the school." We get some shots of inside the school with no Michael. Earl says, "Let's get this fatherless child."
No. Kill you too.
"We have to get out of Haddonfield. The state police are on their way. Let them handle it."
I don't know about you, Earl. Well, that makes sense to me. Let's get the hell out.
You saw the police station. Let the troopers have him. That's what they get paid for.
"Screw it. Let's get out of here." Earl and the girls get in the cabin while Unger, Big Al, and Orrin get in the bed. We see them leave the Haddonfield city limits. Earl says on the radio, "Okay, everybody, listen up. I've got Rachel Carruthers and her sister in the truck. I'm taking them out of town. Route 410. The state police are on their way. You got that?" The
Got
guy
it,
on the radio
Earl.
says.
Got it, Earl.
The state police pass them on their way into Haddonfield. Earl says, "There's the cavalry. Cavalry." It also said it here. Even though when you listen, it's not like they screwed up the line. They just screwed up the closed caption.
Yeah.
One trooper gets out and says, You coming out Haddonfield?" "Yeah, I'm from the elementary school. We're taking these kids to safety." "Okay, there's a highway patrol station about 4 miles down that way. Highway, even. You'll see the turnoff signs. Now, we've got officers on duty. They'll take care of you." "Thanks." And they continue their drive. This specific trooper is credited as state policeman and is played by Don Ray Sampson of Firestarter 2 and Deadly Invasion, The Killer Bee's Nightmare, which I mentioned earlier, but apparently wrote these out of order. And this guy also in that movie is Horror Bois alum Ryan Felipe of I Know What You Did Last Summer. Ah, yay!
Oh.
Earl says, "It's gonna be okay." The truck drives through some heavy fog. We cut to the bed of the truck, where Michael Myers pulls himself up from hanging on the bottom this whole time. First he stabs Orrin in the back, then he slashes Big Al in the stomach and throws him backward. Big Al hits the tailgate door, and he and Orrin roll off the truck. Michael then tosses Unger off the side of the truck. Michael, now on the roof, breaks the window and grabs Earl by the neck and rips it open in a fun kill, which is one of the ones that Beekler definitely did.
Jamie slides to the door on the passenger side.
Yep. Slides to the door on the passenger side. Slides to the floor on the passenger side. That's what it's supposed to say. Rachel pushes Earl's corpse out of the way and out the door. She takes over driving as Michael tries to reach in to grab her. She tries to swerve around and knock him off the roof. Michael keeps trying to grab her for a bit before he headbutts the windshield. Rachel screams and slams on the brakes, sending Michael flying off the roof. But Michael gets back up to his feet. Rachel says, "Die, you son of a bad woman!" And she rams the car into him driving into a field and sending Michael flying back through a fence. She stops the truck. The state troopers and Sheriff Meeker drive up. Rachel says, "Jamie, I want you to stay right here in the truck." We see Michael's hand open, releasing the knife. Rachel runs up to Meeker and says, "Sheriff Meeker, we killed him."
Calm down. Calm down. You alright? Are you alright? Where's Jamie?
We cut to Jamie out of the truck and holding Michael's hand. Meeker runs over, yelling,
Jamie, get away!
"Don't touch him, Jamie." Jamie lets go of his hand and stands up. Michael regrips the knife and sits up.
Get down!
Jamie drops down, and then they let out a bunch of shots into Michael, who stumbles back and falls down an old well. We cut to the Carruthers house. Meeker hands Jamie to Mrs. Carruthers. Mr. Carruthers says, "Oh, babies!" and hugs Rachel. Dr. Loomis hobbles inside.
It's over.
Yes, Michael Myers is in hell, buried where he belongs.
These kids aren't likely to forget.
They've survived this ordeal. They'll survive its memory.
I'm going to take Jamie upstairs. Stay with Rachel.
Mr. Carruthers nods. We cut to Mrs. Carruthers drawing a bath. Then we cut to a POV shot that grabs some scissors. A mask is lowered over the eyes, and we follow the POV shot into the bathroom. Mrs. Carruthers looks over, and we cut away as Mrs. Carruthers screams. Loomis heads to the stairs and looks up and says,
Oh no! No! No!
as the Halloween theme hits, and we see that Jamie's standing at the top of the stairs holding the bloody scissors. Loomis continues,
No! 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 No!
He lifts his gun towards Jamie, but Meeker runs over and forces Loomis's arm down. We look at a shot of Jamie breathing heavily. Then we see Mr. Carruthers and Rachel join Loomis and Meeker at the bottom of the stairs as they all look up in disbelief. And the final shot of the movie is Jamie raising the scissors.
There you go.
And it is now time for our thoughts.
Eh.
I love this movie. It's one of my favorite horror movies. This is a movie I really enjoy. It is definitely my second favorite of the Halloween franchise. I really love pretty much everything about this movie. I love slashers, and this is like just exactly a slasher. I really like all the characters. As mentioned earlier, I really love Danielle Harris's performance in this. I also really like Ellie last name's performance as Rachel. I also just really love, I don't know what it is about, I don't know why, because it shouldn't like directly tie to my life, but for whatever reason, I love older foster sister who accepts the younger sibling by the end of the movie, even if at the beginning they weren't quite fully loving them story. Like this, Child's Play 2, and that's it. But those two movies do it so well, and I love that like trope, I guess. It's only two movies, so I don't know if it even counts as a trope. But yeah, I love that. I just really enjoy this movie. It's definitely one of my favorite horror movies.
That is fair. While this is definitely not one of my favorite horror movies, I think it is still a very solid horror movie a very solid slasher. And I like the dynamic. I also really enjoy the concept of what they do with Jamie at the end. And I think that it would have been cool to have like almost like a It Follows type deal where you can't quite kill this entity that lives inside Michael. It just passes from one person to another.
Oh, that's called Jason Goes to Hell, and we actually hated that movie.
Yeah, but this is like done well.
Well, don't worry, it's completely retcon. What? I didn't say that.
I mean that makes sense.
It's another movie like we mentioned Jason Goes to Hell as a joke, but it's actually more so which one is it? Friday the 13th Part 5, where it looks like why am I blanking on the guy's name? Tommy Jarvis. Tom? Something Jarvis. You know who I'm talking about. Played by 3 different actors throughout 3 movies. You know who I'm talking about. You don't remember that character?
Yeah.
Okay, well, in the 5th movie, they do the fake out him becoming like the new Jason, and then in the next movie, they completely ignore it.
Yeah.
And that's what Halloween 5 does.
Yippee.
As we said, this is one of my favorite movies, and next week we're gonna cover spoiler,
one of the worst ones.
My least favorite, which is somewhat of a spicy take. There are definitely some other movies that people dislike more, some even that I might enjoy. What? Well, guys, stay tuned for that. But and also there's some I haven't seen yet. But Halloween 5, I hate it. But we're going to talk about it, and I've only seen it once, so maybe I'll enjoy it a little more this time around. Probably not, because the reasons I hated it aren't going to change. So yeah, we're going to talk about that next week. Did I cut you off at all? Were you done telling your thoughts? You were, right?
Yeah.
That makes me think I did cut you off, but alright, I guess we'll still move on. Yeah, well, if you like the podcast, 5-star review on any podcast apps. If you want to see our pretty little faces, you want to see Chris's face when I go, "Did you? I cut you off," and he goes, "Eh," and you can see it in his face that I obviously did, but he doesn't want to continue talking for some reason. You can see that on the video podcast, where you can see our faces on youtube.com/@horrorboys. What else? Patreon.com/horrorboys, where you can support us directly, which would be cool.
Make content that we're
Movies
not currently
are
making.
cheap. But yeah, I've been Austin, joined by Chris as always. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.